Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for choosing Across the Fence. I'm Will Michael in this afternoon for Fran Stoddard. As we do on the first Thursday of every month, it's recipe time. And joining me are our chefs, our regular chefs, Carolyn Peak from Williamstown, and on the other end, Marco Ayala from South Hero. And we're especially pleased this afternoon to welcome two culinary winners from the Champlain Valley Fair. We have with us the youth winner. This is Clover Bowker, and the fair's Best in Show winner. This is Laura Hamlin. And Clover and Laura are both from Essex Junction. We're going to get to their recipes in just a moment. Now, first we want to congratulate Marlene Patch from Wallingford. She's the winner of our free cookbook drawing from last month. And Marlene, you'll be receiving your cookbook in the mail any day now, and we hope and trust you'll find plenty of recipes to share with your family and friends. Now, as I mentioned just a moment ago, our first guest is Clover. She's the first place winner in the fair's culinary youth category. Congratulations.
Thanks.
And thank you very much for coming in. Share with everybody what you made.
I made cupcakes, and it's chocolate on the outside, vanilla frosting on the inside, and chocolate frosting on top.
Do these special chocolate on chocolate have a name?
Yeah, chocolate cream puff cupcakes.
Perfect. Now, I learned in speaking with you that this is the first time you've entered in the culinary competition, is that correct?
Yes.
And you've described them, but you also did something special that we should show our viewers that's on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us about go ahead and show right to the audience what you made, and what are we seeing that's on the inside, Clover?
Vanilla frosting and chocolate cake.
Now, this was something that you decided to make, I understand, in recognition of your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. This is just outstanding. Congratulations. We will hope maybe in another year you'll come back and you'll once again be a winner right here. Just the proof in the pudding. There it is, the blue ribbon that goes to Clover. So thank you very much for coming in.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're not done with our folks from the fair. Up next is the Best in Show from the fair, and this is Laura Hamlin, also from Essex Junction, and congratulations to you.
Thank you.
I'm wondering out loud, and I think I know the answer to this, that this was not your first time at the fair in the culinary category.
Yes, that's right.
This is maybe, though, the first time, I think you told me that, well, it's certainly the first time you've won Best in Show, and you've also won ribbons for other things as well?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Your recipe is chocolate chip cookies, and not to be offensive, a lot of people make chocolate chip cookies. What's the special ingredient, or what's the special recipe that sets them apart from?
Sets them apart, I know it. This one uses melted butter, so it's really nice. You don't have to pre-soften the butter.
Okay.
Also, there's an extra yolk. So there's an egg, whole egg, and then there's an egg yolk. And you also bake them at a lower temperature. So they're at 325. So they'll bake in the oven for a little bit longer than the average cookie.
All right, and again, as I did with Clover, we've got the proof of performance here. There's the blue ribbon, and the white ribbon represents?
Yes, it's the Best in Show, for the best of the whole show, everybody that had entered.
Very quickly, for someone who hasn't entered before, Laura, what a message for them, breaking the nerves, what would you say to somebody who hasn't entered the competition?
Enter them, because they're a lot of fun, and you can enter so many more. You know, if you happen to not win in one entry, go ahead and enter other competitions.
Well, we can't wait to sample all of this.
Yeah.
We're going to move on with our regular chefs. We'll bring in now Carolyn Peak from Williamstown to get things started. You have your work cut out for you, my dear. We've just seen the up-and-coming chefs. Look out.
Yeah, but listen, I'm getting old enough so that eventually I'm not going to be able to do this. So we've got to get these other ones in.
I'm glad they were here. I'm glad to turn things over to you, Carolyn. Take it away.
Okay, thank you. Well, I'm going to start this morning. This is recipes to share. So we've got holidays coming up and family get-togethers, the whole thing. So I'm going to start out with, believe it or not, I know you like me with my slow cookers. This is slow cooker caramel corn. And it is just like, you know, any of your caramel corns. It's got nuts and bits of pretzels in it and things like that. And it's very easy to make. You do the whole thing in a slow cooker. I did not bring my other cooker that it was in, but that's a really nice way to have family and friends be able to enjoy the party with you or whatever. Now next I have a potluck macaroni and cheese, and that is in my slow cooker. And I'm going to get some of this out. It's just you cook your macaroni and then you just add all the different cheeses, things like that. So you've got a really nice macaroni and cheese that will feed a whole group of people. It's a good big size. So you can have that for your main meal. Now, for my, I didn't do a meal thing this time like I usually do, but I have a lemon glazed Earl Grey tea bread. And I don't know, I'm going to kind of wiggle things around here so that you can see it better. Get my teapot out of the way, because this is a tea bread. Literally, it has about a tablespoon, or excuse me, tablespoon and a half of Earl Grey tea leaves that you've ground them all up with some sugar, and that's what you start out with for your recipe. Now, I figured that since it's a tea bread and you might be having somebody over for a cup of tea, I am going to have my own cup of tea, and I am going to take the slice of tea bread, and I am going to scoot out of here so that Marco can come in, but I've got my tea and bread to go ahead and enjoy.
I see that. However, I am not sure this will actually serve a crowd, because I like mac and cheese so much that I could probably eat half of that.
Oh, well,
pot
we'll
now.
give you the recipe for it.
Okay. Thank you, Carolyn.
Okay.
So I really enjoy sharing my recipes with friends and neighbors. In fact, my neighbors and I are constantly sending each other containers with goodies, but I find it especially fun cooking for a bigger crowd. Whether it's a main dish or an appetizer, it is great to please a crowd. My first recipe is for barbecue pulled pork stuffed rolls. And this came from Trisha Pera from Plattsburgh, New York. She writes that she makes these when she has a get-together because people just love them. And how could they not? She slow cooks this pork until it's perfectly tender. Then shred it and toss it in barbecue sauce, and then stuff crescent rolls with it. So it takes a little time, but it's worth it because everyone loves it. I mean, just look at the pulled pork right in there. She also writes that her son Tucker loves dipping this into other sauces when he's eating them. So this barbecue pulled pork stuffed rolls is a recipe that the whole family is going to enjoy. And if you have a recipe at home that you would like to share with us, send it to the address that we're giving you at the end of the show, and we will share it with all the Across the Fence viewers. Thank you, Trisha. Now, for my next recipe, I figured we will need a main dish because this is more of an appetizer. So I've had this recipe for a scalloped potato for a while, and a scalloped potato loaf for a while, and I thought it was a perfect time to use it. But this is not your regular scalloped potato. Yes, there is cheese and there is potatoes in here, but there's also a filling of ground beef cooked with onion, paprika, salt, pepper, garlic, tomatoes, and spinach. So there's a lot of flavor going on in there. And if that is not enough, there's also mozzarella cheese slices in between the layers of potatoes. I can almost guarantee this recipe is one that people will have seconds because it is so good. Now, for my last recipe, among my favorite desserts is Trifle, because it's so easy to put together and they look so impressive. I mean, just look at the layers of cake, caramel, and whipped topping right there. And this chocolate trifle is not the exception. It is hard to believe that you can make a crowd happy with just 5 ingredients. In here, there is a cut of devil's food cake, chocolate pudding, caramel ice cream topping, whipped topping, and toffee bits. And then you layer them all together, and voila, you have a dish that is so impressive and people are just going to absolutely love. And I'm just going to scoop a little bit here, and of course, you have to have more caramel at the end because we can, correct? And like I said, this is a recipe that all crowds always enjoy. And Will, are you a chocolate lover or more of a caramel kind of person?
Flip a coin, pal.
Okay, well,
I mean, either way.
We got both right here.
You had a lot going on.
You know what?
I'm impressed. Not only do you have a lot going on, you're balancing stuff here and there. You're not only a chef, you're a server.
I'm a juggler.
You are. Again, a lot of great stuff. Let me come back over here. I was busy off camera.
Right.
You said this is what we're going to be talking about around the water cooler?
Yes, because see, there's ground beef, spinach, paprika. There's like all this wonderful ingredients, and you can see that it actually came out, you know, nice. Like I'm always worried when I cut this kind of things because I never know what they're going to look like.
You're a pro, and I also am going to point out that we had our contest winners, and they'll be back with us before we close out the show. You helped facilitate that. You're one of you've been a culinary judge, a number of different things, and so I wanted to thank you for bringing our special guests along. They did a great job.
You're very welcome. I was very happy that they were here. I love meeting people from the fair and just seeing like all the recipes that the recipes from the great cooks out there.
Well, as always, we have a couple of different ways that everybody can get all the recipes. You can go online to the UVM Extension website that's there on your screen and click on the link to Across the Fence. To get the recipes by mail, just send $2 in a stamped self-addressed business size envelope to Recipes to Share, Box 188 in South Hero, and the zip code is 05486. And please do remember, if you're ordering the recipes, to include $2 in the stamped self-addressed envelope. The address is again on your screen, and we'll leave it there while I just mentioned that our next recipe program will air Thursday, December 5th, and will feature holiday recipes. In the meantime, I want to thank all of our chefs, including our special guests, Laura and Clover, for being with us today. And thank you. We know you have choices, so thanks for choosing us. I'm Will Michael, inviting you to join us back here each weekday afternoon for another visit Across the Fence.